Hello boys and girls. We are going to be doing a new project called Radial Design, okay? Not radio, like something that would play music, but radial, R-A-D-I-A-L. Now radial design is a design that looks like it's coming out from the center, okay? So if you picture looking at a flower with petals coming out in all directions, or looking straight down at a pizza that's got those triangles coming out in all directions, that would be an example of radial design. What I'd like you to find is a piece of paper. If it's blank, that would be best, and something round that's about as big as your hand, okay? Or bigger is fine. I'm gonna use an ice cream bucket lid. And I'm gonna set that ice cream bucket lid on my paper and trace around it with my pencil. Okay, so that I have a nice circle on my paper, and then I'm gonna cut that circle out. We're gonna use the circle for our radial design because a circle is a perfect shape to do that radial design work in. All right, I'm trying to cut neatly and quickly at the same time, so hopefully that will work out. Once you have your circle cut out, you're gonna do a little bit of folding, okay? Let me just finish up my circle. There's my circle. Now I'm gonna fold my circle in half. So I'm matching up those edges, the curves there. I'm gonna fold it in half and give it a nice strong crease on that curve, okay? Then we're gonna fold it in half again. So now taking these two corners and bringing those together, and I always think it's easier to fold on a table, so I'm gonna do that on a table. Okay, and we're gonna put a nice strong crease on our new fold. So now we have like a fourth of a pizza is probably what it looks like. We're gonna then open that up just to the halfway point, okay, where we had it folded in half before. And now I'm gonna fold it so this line matches with the middle line, okay? So I'm gonna bring this side down and match up this line with that fold that's in the middle of my paper. Okay, so it will look like that. And I'm gonna put a good crease there. So hopefully you can see how we brought that down. So it's kind of like an eighth of a pizza now. And then we're gonna do the same thing on this side. We're gonna bring that side down and in. Match that fold up with the fold in the middle. And put a nice strong crease there. Okay, so you have these two flaps. Then we're gonna open up the whole thing, okay? And what you should be able to see are 8 sections on your paper. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you see how that paper is divided into 8 sections, kind of like a pizza because of how we folded it? You're gonna want to watch for those fold lines. We're not gonna draw across them with pencil. We're gonna try to just leave them as fold lines because later on when your design is finished, it's gonna be even neater to not have big dark lines going out through all of those where all the folds are right now. So we're gonna leave them as folds. But we're going to pay attention to those folds when we do our designs, okay? Now that our paper is ready, we can start working on our designs. I'm gonna pick one triangle, one section, doesn't matter which one, and close to the middle of my paper in that one section, I'm gonna make a little mark, okay? I'm choosing like an upside down V, okay? Do you see that little mark that I made right there? Now I'm gonna make the same mark in the next section. So I'm gonna turn my paper so it's easier for me to write, and I'm gonna make that same mark between the next 2 folds. Sorry, there's a little bit of a glare. See those two? So I have a little upside down V in one and a little upside down V in the next. And then I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna make an upside down V in the next section, turn my paper, make an upside down V in the next section, turn my paper, make an upside down V in the next section, and I'm just gonna keep going until I have an upside down V in every section on my radial design. Okay, that design so far looks like it's going out from the middle because I've done the same exact thing in each section all the way around. Now I'm going to move out from the middle a little bit more. So I'm going to do something out here. Okay, let's see, what should we do? I think I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to make just a little curve with a loop in it. See that little curve with the loop in it? And now I'm going to do the same thing in the next section. I'm going to turn my paper and do that little curve with the loop in the next section. And then in the next section. And I'm just going to keep making a curve with a loop in every section as I go around my paper. You'll get really good at whatever shapes or designs you pick because you get to do them all 8 times. See that second design there? Now I think I'm going to do 2 circles for my next design. I'm going to put one on the left and one on the right of my curve that I did before. Can you see those 2 circles? So now I'm going to go into the next section and put a circle on the left and a circle on the right. And I'm going to keep turning my paper, putting a circle on the left and a circle on the right in every section. Now, you'll discover when you read the directions for this project that you do not have to make the same designs I am making, okay? That's no problem. You can make your own unique designs. I'm just trying to show you an example so that you can see what I mean, okay? Now I noticed when I got to the end, do you see the circle that looks a little out of place there? That guy? When I started my circles, I made them higher than when I ended. So I'm just gonna scoot that one down. I think it'll be just fine if I just move that one. It's just that one that seems a little bit kind of like it's doing its own thing, okay? That's where we're at so far. Now I think I need some more straight lines or lines with angles on them. So I'm gonna do a little zigzag thing, kind of like what I did at first. I'm gonna go up, down, up, down, up, down, because I have more space now. My area gets wider as I go, so I have more space to do designs. So I'm gonna do 3 like little mountains as my next design. So then I'll put that in the next space, and in the next space, and in the next space, and I'm going to just keep going around making those 3 little mountains in every space I have left. There we go, we're making progress. Now if you want to keep going from here, you can. Or you can start on the outside and do a design on the outside if you want to, and kind of work your way back in, okay? I think I'm gonna try that because I like the idea of having that outside edge as a border. So I'm gonna do a design now along the outside of a space. I think we'll do some scallops. It's kind of like what I did just a moment ago, only it's curvy. You see those? Like lump, 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 lump along the outside. So now I'm going to do that in every space. I'll get those kind of scallops in all of my boxes. One more. right, now I have scallops all the way around the outside. I think I need something in between the scallops and the little pointy mountains now. How about some triangles? I'm gonna do I'll do 3 triangles. So like above each little pointy mountain part, there will be a triangle. Okay, so this one section is finished, and I'm gonna do the other sections to match it. Okay, so we'll do a little triangle above each of those. It's really good to take your time and do neat work on these radial designs, because when you color them, your coloring will only be as neat as your drawings. So your drawings, you'll want your drawings to be nice and neat so that your coloring can be neat too. Doesn't that look complicated? It's pretty cool, isn't it? I think it's fun when things look complicated, but they're really not that hard. I love teaching people how to do stuff like that. So this is step number 1. I'm gonna have you do, create your circle, fold your circle, and then create a radial design inside your circle so that it's following each of those sections, okay? The last step for this week, week number 1, is I'd like you to color your design, okay? I'm gonna have you color your design each time we do a radial design. We'll do a few of these over the next couple weeks. But the first one I'm gonna have you color, I'm gonna ask you to use cool colors, okay? Cool colors is a group of colors that are like the blues, the greens, the purples. Those are cool colors. So I'd like you to use cool colors this week, week number 1 for radial designs, as you color your design. And if you don't have lots of different cool colors, when I was showing you these, I only really have blues, purples, and greens. But when you're choosing those colors, you could choose to color dark with your purple in one section and then lightly in a different section so it looks like 2 different purples, even though you're using the same colored pencil or crayon. I'd like you to use colored pencils or crayons for this radial design. Let's not do markers, okay? Markers get a little difficult to handle in tight spots. So colored pencils or crayons. And I'm going to show you an example of how to color this in just a moment. Hello boys and girls, we are going to color now using cool colors our radial design. There's a particular way I'd like you to do that, okay? I'm going to start here with a light blue. I like to start in the middle in one of those triangular sections, okay? So I'm going to take my light blue and color that first design that I made. I'm just going to color that one section with my light blue. Can you see that one section colored light blue? And then I'm going to skip the next one for now and go to the third section and color that one light blue. And then I'm going to skip the next one. So I'm basically going every other section here. And the sections again are divided by those fold lines that we made at the beginning. So I'm doing every other section coloring light blue. And you can pick any cool color you want to. I just happened to choose light blue first. So now you can see in the center of my radial design, I have light blue, white, light blue, white, light blue, white. Now you can change the white to something different if you want to, or you can leave it white, doesn't matter to me. But that's the idea I'd like you to use as you color your radial design. I'm gonna do one more section. Let's see, we'll pick a green here. And I think I wanna go with my green in the next section. I wanna do the green above the white, okay? So I'll put that green right above the white in the next section. I'll show you what that looks like. You see I'm on one layer out from where I started before. I'm going to pause the video and get that green in every other portion of that section, and then I'll pop back. So that would be what my cool color radial design looks like so far, with some blue in the center section and green in the next section. And you can just do this same kind of thing on your design using white if you want, or you don't have to leave spaces white. But I'm going to have you use cool colors to finish the coloring using color in every other section, or the color you choose in every other section, for the rest of your cool color radial design this week. Nice job, boys and girls. I'm excited to see your work.